this video, let us study about the periodic and non-periodic signals, which are also called as aperiodic signals. So, a signal x of t is said to be periodic if it satisfies this condition x of t plus or minus nt. That means the signal is repeating itself after some interval of time. Okay, suppose I will give you a signal, okay, 0 to 2 and here till 4, then again from 4 to 6, 8 to 10 and so on, and here it is minus 2, minus 4, okay, like this, and towards left also it is like minus infinity to 0 and from 0 to infinity. This is continuous. Okay, now we can say that this is repeating after 4 seconds. Okay, if let it be t in seconds, this is x of t and let the amplitude be 1. So what happens, see this portion I can see this signal, okay, that is still 4 to 0. This is repeating, right? Again here I am getting the same signal, again from it I am getting the same signal. That means this particular thing is repeating itself after 4 seconds. After 4 seconds again this signal comes here, right? This one. Again after 4 seconds again this signal comes. So that means it is repeating itself after 4 seconds. And one thing you should remember, that the periodic signal means it should be from minus infinity to infinity. Suppose I give you a signal like this till 0 to 4 6 and here it is minus 2, minus 4 and here it is minus 6, minus 8, like this. Okay, only it exists only for this time period, that is means from minus 8 to 6. It is not extended till infinity. In such cases this will not be a periodic signal. By looking at this you may feel it is periodic with the period 4 seconds, but no, it should be till infinity. Here it should be from minus infinity. If the range is from minus infinity to infinity, then only I can call that signal as a periodic signal. Okay. So basically it should satisfy this condition, that is x of t is equal to x of t plus or minus t, nt. Okay. Where t here, I can also write t naught in this formula. I can also write here t naught and I can call this t naught as fundamental period. Fundamental period. It is the smallest time period. It is the smallest period. That means I will take again the same signal 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Here also the same signal will be there. See here, I can also tell that it is repeating after 8. I can tell it is repeating after 4. It is again repeating after 8, likewise 12 seconds. Okay, but I will tell that the time period of this signal is 4 seconds. I can't tell that it is 8 seconds because we will be considering the smallest value as the fundamental period. Okay. So T naught is a fundamental period. So F naught is equal to 1 by T naught. It is nothing but it is a fundamental frequency which is in hertz or cycles per second. Cycles per second. Then you have omega naught which is equal to 2 pi F naught, which is also equal to 2 pi by T naught. This is nothing but it is angular frequency in radians per second. Okay, it is in radians per second. Suppose I will consider a signal that is sin t. Okay, sin t. It is repeating like this, right? This is at 0. Okay, this is at pi by 2, pi. This is 2 pi and so on. Okay, so what I can say, it is repeating after 2 pi. It is repeating after 2 pi. So I can tell t is equal to 2 pi. Okay, t is equal to 2 pi seconds because it is repeating after 2 pi, every 2 pi, see again after 4 pi, once again it is repeating. So this is satisfying the condition x of t plus or minus nt. This sin t is satisfying this condition. So we can say that in this 2 pi second, it is completing one cycle. So here this is the second cycle. That is nothing but, it is nothing but cycles per second. Okay, this is the cycle. Okay, so let us see how we can find out the fundamental period of sine and cos and also the exponential signal. X of t is equal to sine omega naught t. Okay, for this to be periodic, what I will do now, x of t plus t naught. So I will replace t by t plus t naught. Sine omega naught t plus omega naught t naught. Okay, omega naught t naught is nothing but it is once again 2 pi by t naught into t naught. We have just seen that omega naught is equal to 2 pi by t naught. This cancels. So 2 pi by omega naught t, this is nothing but it is equal to sine omega naught t. Right? So x of t plus t naught is equal to x of t. So we can consider that this is the fundamental period. That is t naught is a fundamental period that is equal to 2 pi by omega naught. Okay, so from whenever you see the sine signal, just see here omega naught and substitute this in this, you will be getting the fundamental period of the sine signal. Similarly, we can find it for cos omega naught t. Okay, for this signal to be periodic, it has to satisfy this condition x of t plus t naught is equal to x of t. So, cos of omega naught t plus t naught, okay, that is equal to cos of omega naught t plus omega naught t naught. Once again, this is nothing but total it is 2 pi. So 360 plus omega naught t, nothing but it is cos omega naught t. Okay, which is equal to x of t. So x of t plus t naught, that is equal to x of t. So we can say this cos omega naught t also is periodic with the fundamental period t naught is equal to 2 pi by omega naught seconds. Okay, so this is how we can prove that this is the periodic signal with this fundamental period, and sine omega naught t is fundamental with the period 2 pi by omega naught. So you must remember this. Okay, so whenever you see the cos and sine signals, just by seeing this value you can find it out. That means now if I tell you find out the value of fundamental period for this signal, obviously this signal is periodic. Now we can say omega naught is equal to 2 pi. So t naught is equal to 2 pi by omega naught. So that is equal to 1 second. So the period of this one is nothing but it is 1 second. Okay. So now if I consider x of t is equal to e to the power of j omega naught t, then we have to find it whether this is periodic or not. So x of t is equal to e to the power of j omega naught t. Now once again, for this signal to be periodic, it has to satisfy this condition. X of t plus t naught should be equal to x of t. So now let us substitute x of t plus t naught, that is equal to e to the power of j omega naught t plus t naught. Okay, so e to the power of j omega naught t, e to the power of j omega naught t naught. So this is nothing but it is again e to the power of j 2 pi. You know from Euler's formula, e to the power of j theta is equal to cos theta plus j sin theta. So here a j 2 pi, e to the power of j 2 pi, that will be cos 2 pi plus j sin 2 pi. And this is obviously 0. So you will be getting 1. Right? So this will be 1 now. And that will be equal to x of t. So we can say this is fundamental, this is capital T naught. It is it is periodic with the fundamental period T naught. So if I ask you to find out the value of e to the power of j 2 pi t, okay, so this is nothing but omega naught. So you know omega naught now. So T naught will be equal to 2 pi by 2 pi, that is equal to 1 second. So likewise we can find the period of this exponential, complex exponential also. So now we will see the effect of time shifting, time scaling, amplitude shifting, amplitude scaling. Okay, that is on the period, means fundamental period. If the fundamental period changes or not, if I do some if I perform some operations on the periodic signal. Okay, so first let us take the effect of time shifting. Effect of time shifting. Okay, so now I will take this signal, the same signal here, 0, 2, 4, 6, so on. Okay, it is continuing. So now if I shift this signal by 1 unit right side, x of t minus 1. So at whatever the value is there, you will get it at 1, this is at 3, so this is at 5, and this will be at 7, right? This one will be at 7. So now what happens, you can see this is repeating after 4 seconds. Here the period was 4 seconds. Here also the period is 4 seconds. So I can say this time shifting, it doesn't affect the fundamental period. It doesn't affect fundamental period of the signal. Okay, that is time shifting. Next one, amplitude shifting. Okay, suppose I will add 1 plus x of t to the above example only. I will shift it by 1 unit. So what happens here, I will get here, right, like this. Okay, once again this is period will be 4 seconds. There is amplitude shifting here by 1 unit. Okay, plus 1 means I am shifting it upwards, but there is no effect on the fundamental period. 4 seconds, again it is 4 seconds. So amplitude shifting also doesn't affect the fundamental period, that is T naught. Okay, so next let us consider time scaling. Okay, you know what is time scaling? It's nothing but a compression of the signal or expansion of the signal. So suppose x of t is like this, 0 to 2 t, x of t, and the amplitude is 1. What is x of 2t? It is nothing but dividing, right? It is nothing but x of 2t, that is a is greater than 1. So what happens? You will be having the compression 0 to 1. And if I consider x of t by 2, it will be expanded. So it will be from 0 to 4. It doesn't affect the amplitude, but obviously the time will be affected here. So if I consider the previous signal, which was from 0 to 2, 4, 6 and so on till infinity. Okay, so now if I consider x of 2t, what happens? This one will be 0 to 1, then it will be divided by 2, okay, then again it will be 3 and so on. So now what happens? It is repeating itself after 2 seconds. See, 0, 1, 2. After 2 again it is repeating. So now what happened? It was 4 seconds time period. Here it is 2 seconds. That means our T naught is reduced by 2, right? That means what is the value of A? It is 2. So I can consider this as T naught by A. Correct? The old period divided by A. That will give you the new fundamental period. Suppose if it was x of t by 2, then you will have the signal like this. Okay? The value will be multiplied by 2, right? So it is 8, 6, okay? 12. So now it will be repeating after 8 seconds. So T naught into 2 it will be, like 4 into 2, 8. Because A will be 1 by 2, so it comes to the numerator, so it becomes 2 into T naught. So normally we can say if x of t has the fundamental period T naught, then x of at will have the fundamental period T naught divided by mod A. Mod A. Next comes shifting. Sorry, it is time reversal. Time reversal. Same signal I will consider 0, 2, 4, 6. Okay, this one was like this, minus 2, minus 4. Now if I do the reversal means you know, right? We have already studied how to do the reversal operation. So whatever the value was at 2, now I will get at minus 2. And whatever the value is at this one, I will get at 2. Okay, so this one will be your reversal. And again here there is no difference. There is no difference. Okay, again from 6 it will be repeating. So we can see the period will be 4 seconds only. It is repeating after 4 seconds. So time reversal also has no effect. So if x of t, if it is t naught, x of minus t also is equal to t naught. Okay, so we can see x of at is equal to t naught by mod a, right? So here x of minus t, in this case a is equal to minus 1. So t naught divided by mod of minus 1, that is equal to t naught. So from this also, from scaling property also, we can say that the time reversal it will not affect the time period, and by like this from the figure also we can tell that it is not affecting the fundamental time period. Okay, that is the effect of time reversal. So it has no effect. Time shifting also doesn't have any effect. Yes, time scaling has effect, but amplitude shifting also doesn't have any effect on the fundamental period. Now amplitude scaling. Suppose I will multiply. See, I was having x of t like this, right? But now if I consider 2x of t, this value was 1. If I consider 2x of t, the value is nothing but only this one will be changing, right? Only this one will be changing. Everything else is same. 2, 4, 6, this was x of t. This is 2x of t. Okay. So now, will the time period change? No. It is 4 seconds. Here also it was 4 seconds. Here also it is 4 seconds. Okay. The time is not getting affected. Only amplitude is getting affected in this particular signal. So, the amplitude scaling also doesn't affect the fundamental time period. So, it will be T naught. Okay. And the effect of phase. Suppose I have sine of omega naught t plus phi. Okay. So if in the next value I can tell you, like I have 2 pi t plus 45 degree. I will give you sine 2 pi t minus 90 degree, something like this, or 190 degree or something like that. So here we are not going to see the phase. Phase will never affect your fundamental time period. Okay, it is just this omega naught value which will be affecting the fundamental time period. So if it is 2 pi, then you can say t naught will be 1 second, right? If it was something like sine 4 pi t plus 45 degree, then we have t naught is equal to 2 pi by 4 pi, that is equal to 1 by 2 seconds. 1 by 2 seconds. So we will be seeing only this part for the time period, fundamental time period. Phase doesn't affect the fundamental time period, even amplitude. So a sine omega naught t plus phi, a cos omega naught t plus phi, okay, a e to the power of j omega naught t plus some value, okay, this will never affect any time period, fundamental time period. We are just concentrating on omega naught. Okay, so omega naught is equal to 2 pi by t naught, or t naught is equal to 2 pi by omega naught. If I just do this, I will get the time period of that particular signal. Okay, consider the addition of two signals, okay, x1t plus x2t. So if any one signal is non-periodic, if any one signal is non-periodic, if this is periodic, if this is non-periodic, then I will get this as non-periodic. X of t, the sum of two signals will be non-periodic. If both are non-periodic, then obviously I am getting here non-periodic signals. But what if it is periodic? If both are periodic individually, will the summation be periodic or non-periodic? It will be periodic or non-periodic. It depends. Okay. For example, I'll consider sine 2 pi t plus cos 4 pi t. Okay. Sine 2 pi t plus cos 4 pi t. Another example, sine 2t plus cos 4 pi t. We will consider these two signals. And we will see the procedure like how to find the fundamental period in case of summation of the two signals. Okay. So, always we have to find the fundamental period of this signal. First, find out the fundamental period of the first x1t. Let me consider this as x1t, this as x2t. Okay. Find the fundamental period t1 of x1t. Find the fundamental period t2 of x2 of t. Okay. This is of x2 of t. This is of x1 of t. Now, see if this t1 by t2 is rational or not. Rational means it should not be containing pi, it should not be containing any square root. Okay, so it should not contain all these terms. If it contains, then it will be irrational. So first find out if t1 by t2 is rational. So in this case we can say this is omega 1 which is equal to 2 pi. So t1 is equal to 1 second. Okay, in this case omega 2 is equal to 4 pi. So t2 will be equal to 1 by 2 seconds. So t1 by t2, that will give you 2. Okay, 2 by 1. 2 by 1. So nothing but we can say it is rational, right? It is rational. So now what happens, to find the fundamental time period t, we have to consider LCM of t1 and t2. LCM of t1 and t2. Here it is LCM of 1 and 1 by 2. Okay. So in this case, LCM of numerator divided by HCF of denominator. So if you are having fractions, okay, if you are having a fraction, okay, then we can consider LCM of this numerator 1 comma 1, that is nothing but 1. HCF of denominator, once again it is 1, so it is 1 second. So likewise we can find out the fundamental time period of the signal. So in this case sine 2t, in this case sine 2t, we can say 2 pi by 2, okay, that is pi seconds, and here it is 2 pi by 4 pi, that is 1 by 2 seconds. So the ratio of this, it will be 2 pi, which is irrational. It is irrational. But this is fundamental, means it has a fundamental period of 5 seconds. This has a fundamental period of 1 by 2 seconds. That means they are periodic individually, but what happens, it makes this signal non-periodic because the t1 by t2 will be irrational. Okay, it is irrational. So let us solve some problems to find out the fundamental period. So x of t is equal to 3 sine 4 pi t plus 7 cos 3 pi t. You have to find the period, that is fundamental period of this signal. So we know that amplitude, it doesn't affect the fundamental period. So I'll go for this. Omega 1 is equal to 4 pi. Omega 2 will be equal to 3 pi. So T1 will be equal to 1 by 2 seconds. T2 will be equal to 2 pi by 3 pi, that is 2 by 3 seconds. So T1 by T2, that is nothing but 1 by 2 divided by 2 by 3, that is nothing but it is 3 by 4. 3 by 4. So this is your rational one, right? So t will be equal to LCM of t1, t2. So we can consider 1 by 2, 2 by 3. What is the LCM of this? It will be 2. And what is HCF of denominator? It is 1. So we can consider it as 2 seconds. So time period is 2 seconds. Next problem. You have to find the fundamental frequency of this particular signal. Fundamental frequency. We can see that it is repeating after 4 seconds. So T0 is equal to 4 seconds. So what is fundamental frequency? It is 1 by 4 hertz. Okay, nothing but 0.25 hertz. Next, another question. X of t is equal to 3 sin 2t plus 7 cos 3 pi t. So we know that the amplitude doesn't affect the period. So this is 2 pi by 2, which is equal to pi seconds, and here it is 2 by 3 seconds. So we will get t1 by t2 as 3 pi by 2, which is irrational. So this is non-periodic signal. We cannot calculate the fundamental time period of this. Next, another question. They are telling that x of t is equal to cos t, that is for t less than 0, and sin t for t greater than equal to 0. First you have to find this, if it is a periodic signal or non-periodic signal. If it is a periodic signal, you have to find the fundamental period. So for t greater than 0, it is sin t. That means I can write like this. Okay, you know it will start from here, sin t. Cos t for less than 0 means it will be like this, right? So now what happens? This particular signal, it is discontinuous at t is equal to 0. Discontinuous, and this signal is non-periodic. Non-periodic. So we cannot find out the fundamental time period. Because see here, it is going here and then it is starting, means there is a discontinuity here. Discontinuous at t is equal to 0. Next we will take another example. X of t is equal to 10 sin phi t minus 4 cos 9t. So here we can see t1 is equal to 2 pi by 5 seconds. Here t2 is equal to 2 pi by 9 seconds. t1 by t2, that is equal to 2 pi by 5 into 9 by 2 pi, that is equal to 9 by 5. This is nothing but it is a rational one. Okay, so we can find out the fundamental time period t, that is nothing but LCM of t1, t2. Okay, so LCM of 2 pi by 5, 2 pi by 9. What is the LCM of this 2 pi? It is 2 pi. What is the HCF of denominator? 1. So t is equal to 2 pi seconds. Okay, this is the fundamental period. Next, let us solve another problem. X of t is equal to phi t minus 2 cos 6000 pi t. Yes, we know that cos 6000 pi t, it is period. But what about this t? Is this a periodic signal? No. So periodic plus or minus non-periodic, what happens? This becomes non-periodic signal. So we cannot calculate the fundamental period for this. Next question is x of t is equal to 10 cos square 10 pi t. Here we can use a formula cos 2 theta. that is equal to 2 cos square theta minus 1. Cos square theta is equal to 1 plus cos 2 theta divided by 2. So here it is 1 plus cos 2 theta, 1 plus cos of 2 into this one, this is 20 pi t. We know that this DC term, it doesn't affect the periodicity. So we are going for this only. Omega naught is equal to 20 pi. So T naught is equal to 2 pi by 20 pi. So that is equal to 1 by 10. That is equal to 0.1 seconds. Okay. So the answer is 0.1 seconds. Next question. If the signal has t, x of t is equal to t plus cos pi t or something like that, whenever you see t, then it is non-periodic. Okay. Next is 4 sin 6t plus 3 sin root 3t. Now, by seeing this only we can tell that t1 by t2 will be irrational one because it will be having a square root. Okay. But it will be having a square root. So 2 pi by 6 divided by 2 pi by root 3. Okay. So this is irrational. Root 3 by 6, irrational one. So it is non-periodic signal. Okay. Next is, for discrete time signal, it will satisfy the condition x of n is equal to x of n plus mn, something like this. Okay. X of n plus mn. So it should also, this is nothing but it is a fundamental period now, m. But remember, this should be an integer. This should be an integer. We cannot get n is equal to 2 by 3, 1 by 3, 4 by 6 or something like that. Okay. It should be an integer. It should be 1, 2, 3, 4, so on. Okay. But there is no condition for the continuous time signal. We can have this as 2 pi by 3. We can have 1 by 3. We can have 2. We can have 4. But here there is a condition for discrete time signal. Okay. That is a condition. If they give you a question like this, and to find the fundamental time period also it's the same thing. Find out n1, n2. Okay, n1, n2. And then find the LCM of n1 and n2. So another condition is, you must remember, here omega is equal to 2 pi m by n. There omega was 2 pi by t. Here it is 2 pi n by n into m. Okay. So here x of n is equal to cos of n by 8 into cos of pi n by 8. This is a non-periodic signal because in this case if I consider pi by 8, okay, omega 1 is equal to pi by 8. So n is equal to 2 pi m by omega 1. So 2 pi by 8 into m. So that will be equal to 16. N is equal to 16. But in this case omega 2 is equal to 1 by 8. So n2 is equal to 2 pi divided by 1 by 8 into m. So it is 16 pi m. So whatever 0, 1, 2, whatever you substitute for this one, you cannot remove this pi. So this will become your non-periodic signal. So non-periodic signal into periodic signal, that will give you non-periodic signal. Okay. Cos of 8n, cos of 4n or whatever it is, this will be non-periodic. But at the same time, if you consider cos of 2 pi n, cos of 4 pi n, these are periodic signals. Okay, these all are periodic signal. So remember this condition, n should be an integer, but that is not in the case of continuous time signal. Okay, and another thing, in discrete time signal, if you are adding two periodic signals, you will be getting a periodic signal. For example, I can take cos of 8 pi n plus cos of 4 pi n. Okay, in this case we can say omega 1 is equal to 8 pi, omega 2 is equal to 4 pi. So n1 is equal to 2 pi by 8 pi into m. N2 is equal to 2 pi by 4 pi into m. So here it is m. If I consider m is equal to 4, I will get n1 is equal to 1. And here n2 is equal to 1 by 2 into m. So if I consider m is equal to 2, I will get n2 is equal to 1. Okay. So